Thursday, February 23rd. Jonah, chapter 3. Jonah goes to Nineveh. Then the word of the Lord came to Jonah a second time. Go to the great city of Nineveh and proclaim to it the message I give you. Jonah obeyed the word of the Lord and went to Nineveh. Now Nineveh was a very large city. It took 3 days to go through it. Jonah began by going a day's journey into the city, proclaiming, 40 more days and Nineveh will be overthrown. The Ninevites believed God. A fast was proclaimed, and all of them, from the greatest to the least, put on sackcloth. When Jonah's warning reached the king of Nineveh, he rose from his throne, took off his royal robes, covered himself with sackcloth, and sat down in the dust. This is the proclamation he issued in Nineveh. By the decree of the king and his nobles, do not let people or animals, herds or flocks, taste anything. Do not let them eat or drink. But let people and animals be covered with sackcloth. Let everyone call urgently on God. Let them give up their evil ways and their violence. Who knows? God may yet relent and with compassion turn from his fierce anger so that we will not perish. When God saw what they did and how they turned from their evil ways, he relented and did not bring on them the destruction he had threatened. For reflection, would you listen? The people of Nineveh were going about their everyday lives when this stranger, Jonah, showed up with a warning. Life as you know it will end in 40 days. Instead of ignoring him, they felt that God was the origin of the message and took it to heart, even to the highest levels of government. It disrupted their lives to take on the action of repentance. What is remarkable is they did it with no assurance that God's position would be changed. The king himself made this uncertainty clear when he ended his call for the entire nation to participate in acts of penitence with the following words: Who knows? God may yet relent and with compassion turn from his fierce anger so that we will not perish. So what was involved in the decision to change their ways? It's clear that they believed that God was powerful enough to carry out the threat of destruction, or it would have been a hollow threat. They also acknowledged that it was their own fault and that the situation was due to their own evil and violent acts and attitudes. Otherwise, why change their ways? They knew they were in trouble and that it was their own fault, but they had hope. There was no guarantee God would forgive them, but there was a possibility, and that possibility was enough to call them to action.